Winston Churchill said, if you have knowledge, let others light their candles with it. And I was very privileged to be able to light my own candle with the knowledge of world-renowned academics, and also now to allow others to light their candles with the knowledge I have gained. My topic was parental involvement in helping parents help their children in schools. And people often ask me, well, why are you interested in this? And the reason I'm interested is my grassroots involvement with parents. For many years, I have worked with parents at all levels. Parents whose children have been excluded, parents who need help reading their children's school reports, parents who had bad experiences at school. I have been at their side, helping them advocate with the schools and navigate what is a minefield. So I've actually worked at a grassroots level from the bottom up with parents. So the fellowship enabled me to go and work with 2 world-class academics so that I could marry the academic knowledge with my practical grassroots experience. The first academic is Professor Joyce Epstein at the Johns Hopkins University. She's extremely well known for her work on parental involvement. And then I contrasted this with working with Professor Esther Ho Si Chu at the Chinese University in Hong Kong. And what that gave me was not only parental involvement from 2 top-class academics, but also an East-West perspective. So, what is this East-West approach? Much talked about, lots of debate, which is better, one or the other. I wouldn't say any is better than the other, you can gain from both. I think it's the pianist Lang Lang, who is perhaps known to many people, who summed it up. He said, my father was my personal police. And in the Eastern model, which is very much home-led, parents have a deep respect for teachers, a deep respect for education, but they also see themselves as teachers as well. So they do a lot of work at home with their children. So you have the separated model, there's a teacher's domain, let the teachers teach, that's what they're qualified to do, and the parents' domain, when the children come home, I will work with my children. And I don't know if any of you have read Amy Chira's book, Battle Hymn of the Tiger Mum. American academic, one lady's nodding, and you know the lengths she went to help her children succeed. I mean, she actually got some death threats. She was vilified for it. But the one thing she did was absolutely work with her children and made them very successful academically, although there's debates about self-esteem and so on. Parents are prepared to make huge sacrifices in the Eastern model. They pay tutors, and tutors in Asia are treated like film stars. You go to Hong Kong, you see on the side of buses, the most famous tutor. And then you've got, there's definitely, what's important, I believe, for policymakers here is there's a lot less impact on your socioeconomic status. So children at all levels tend to do quite well. The Western model, which is very much school-led, and which I got a lot of work from Professor Epstein, is very much more, let the school manage the parental involvement. So the emphasis now is on school-led. I would say in the West, mixed views on education, highly prized, but not always so. Only 2 weeks ago, I was reading on Facebook of a parent who went into a class in the US and actually beat a teacher so badly the teacher had to be taken to the hospital. So this is one parent who obviously whose sense of parental involvement is not quite what the school is looking for. So you've got the school-led types, Epstein's six types, parenting, communicating, volunteering, and so on. The schools are expecting to provide an environment to engage the parents. So, and in the West, the academic results are very much marked by our socio-economic class, race, and so on. So really something for policymakers to think about. But the question is, 5 years on, what am I doing as a Winston Churchill Fellow? Well, I work at many levels. At individual levels, I work with individual parents. Parents who are referred to me, and I should make a point, this is not my day job. This is my volunteer and my community work. But I do work with individual parents, helping them to help the children. One one example of success I'm really proud of is a parent. I think what I introduced her to is the more at-home model. She was very much leave it to the school. She had a very bright child, but at the rate they were going, this child wasn't going to achieve her potential. So I got her to look at the at-home Eastern model, adopt a bit more of that. And the success is her child has won a place at Oxbridge to read philosophy. What both of them said to me was, had it not been for my intervention in the way I helped them, that was highly unlikely. I'm sure she'd have gone to university and very good ones, but it's that subtle intervention with the parent that helped. At a community level, I share my work with community groups. I tried with teachers to introduce the Epstein 6 types because most schools in the UK do the Western type model. And I've got an example of a teacher who actually did a little survey with our class, asking the children, the primary school teacher, what would you like from parental involvement? And children, being what they are, were extremely honest and gave us some fantastic feedback. Now, what she was able to do was to use that information and engage parents at a different level to help their children. So it can be used with parents, with teachers, students themselves. But there comes a point when you have to think, how do you reach more people? And I heard an interesting statistics 2 weeks ago that a short video, just 2 to 3 minutes, can have the same effect as 1 million words. The videos can be very powerful. So what I have been doing is to make short YouTube videos to get across points to parents, teachers, children. And I've been getting feedback from parents about the videos, and that's going to be my next big push. I'm also encouraging parents to try apps, because one of the biggest change since my 5 years travel, since I traveled 5 years ago, was how fast technology is moving. Sorry, I was looking at the time. How fast technology is moving. And I know in the US, 1 in 2 schools are now using apps. And what the effect this has is real-time discussion with parents. So you can imagine little Johnny is behaving badly in class. You do not have to wait until the parents' evening 3 months later. You can send a little message to the parent and say, we perhaps need your intervention now, or at the end of the day, or tonight, or so on. So it's a very, very different way of working. And I really believe that technology and the new tools may actually move parental involvement on quite a lot. Other things I have done, I've written to politicians. I must say credit to Mr. Gove when he was the Minister of Education. He did reply to me and made a few suggestions, and I thought it was quite nice that he listened to what I had to say. I have met with academics to talk about the research, both my grassroots research plus marrying this with the work I've done. I had really good feedback from them. What I would say is people are interested, but there's not a lot of funding anywhere. As I said, my next big push, I've been making the YouTube videos with my iPhone. They're good, but they're not fantastic. So my next move is to really either get a professional or someone to help me make these videos and get them out there. Because once I do that, then the videos will be for my community, for my, for society, and for the whole world, and people can add to that. Finally, I think I cannot thank the Churchill enough for what they did for me. It was a unique experience. It helped to build my confidence. I'm extremely proud to be a Windsor Fellow, and I see myself as a fellow for life. And as I started, this knowledge that I have gained, I'm just tremendously proud that others can now light their candles with my knowledge in my family, in my community, in my society, and hopefully in my world. So I love this quote, if you have knowledge, let others light their candles with it. Thank you.